A vote on the budget, that could happen this Wednesday. But who can claim victory? Which side? Tonight, Bret Baier joins me. He's Fox News chief political anchor and host of Special Report on the Fox News Channel. Great to see you again, Bret Baier.
Hi, Kennedy.
So let's talk about some of the winners and losers here. Who claims victory, Republicans or Democrats?
Well, let's just start this way. No matter your ideology, whatever party you're with, this spending bill is not a profile in courage. This is essentially funding almost exactly like it was. It is not changing for the Trump administration. And who claims victory? I think Democrats can claim more victories than Republicans, namely that they kept funding Planned Parenthood. They did not see the cuts that were called for in the EPA, the Corporation of Public Broadcasting. Big Bird is fine. The National Endowment of the Arts, all the things that were controversial in the budget blueprint, they didn't come to pass.
Yeah.
And while there is more border security and more money for defense, it's much less than the Trump administration wanted, and it does not pay for the wall.
Yeah, there's just a little bit more money for military spending, $12.5 billion. And I think part of that is from the enthusiasm that Democrats showed when the president authorized those Tomahawk missile strikes in Syria. I think you're seeing that there is an appetite for destruction in both parties.
But remember, Kennedy, the Republicans control the White House, the House, and the Senate. And the fact that this spending bill, which obviously is 2017, and it is not 2018,
That's
and the
right.
administration makes the case 2018 is where they're going to make their stand and kind of make it more Trumpian. But still, they had access to this 2017 spending bill because Congress had kicked the can down to this point. But Republicans have control, yet this is a very Democratic spending bill.
Yes, it is absolutely, and Democrats are promising more of the same in the fall. So what happens in October? Does anything change? I mean, you point out it's status quo spending. That means we're still spending way too much money, and we're also looking at massive tax cuts, which I applaud. We absolutely need tax reform in this country, but we also need to cut up the kids' credit card because they've just shoved us into the red.
This is the deal that we deal with all the time, this omnibus spending bill mentality that Washington has had that has created the situation that we're in. I mean, it has to stop someplace if you talk to conservatives, and they say, you know, you got to draw the line. They are in control. And the line was not drawn this time. If you're going to have those massive tax cuts, and it looks like they are going to roll those out and try to get that passed,
yeah,
you're going to have to find the cut somewhere. And if you're not going to touch entitlement spending at all, you're going to have to cut some massive programs. Yeah,
not only are they not touching entitlement spending, they're, as you can see, increasing military spending. So how do they sell tax cuts to weary Democrats? Obviously, Americans want them. Individuals want them. Businesses want them. Middle-income earners, they all want them. But it seems as though Democrats are hell-bent on withholding in order to give the president another loss. So what does this administration have to do to reach across the aisle, and how necessary is that for tax reform?
So I think that they're going to have to incentivize Democrats' priorities. And they're going to have to say, you know, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, whether it comes down to infrastructure or whether it comes down to starting something big like the Simpson-Bowles Commission that the President Obama had and he ignored.
Yeah.
That deals with tax reform and entitlements in the future, not now, in the future. And if they did that, they could probably get Democrats on board.
I don't think anything's going to happen with entitlements until there are a bunch of millennials in office, and they're the generation that realizes that there is going to be nothing left, because right now it seems as though some of the most reliable voters in this country, namely golden Americans, they're the ones whose Social Security and Medicare are stable for the time being. It's going to be future generations, the ones that will have to look at the balance sheet and realize that they are staring into a hellish abyss.